Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM22 One Club story from Hemel Hempstead Town with me, Daniel. We're back today for part 77 of the Tudor Times, and we're also back for what promises to be one of the ultimate bottle jobs at the end of a season. We have completely thrown away our form at the wrong time. We are 4 games without a win, and from being pretty comfortably in the playoffs with 6 games to go last time out, we are now 1 point clear of Cardiff, 2 clear of West Brom, 3 clear of Burnley. 2 points behind Birmingham as well, but we've got 2 games remaining. And if we lose them, the chances are we won't be in the top 6. So if you're looking forward to seeing how we get on against Bournemouth and against Reading, both sides have actually pulled away from their respective battles. Bournemouth were chasing the playoffs, they can't quite make it now. And Reading well cleared from the relegation pack, then please do put a thumbs up on it. Subscribe down below for daily FM22 content from 2 long-term stories. We ran into problems in the head coach yesterday, that's in the eye above if you missed it. And there's also links up there to the football podcast and the Twitch channel for regular content. But thank you as always for your incredible support. I said, was Victor Sedende's goal record at threat? We thought it was going to be broken in the last episode. Ricky has not scored since. And that isn't even half the problem. Let's have a look at the schedule for what's been going on. You were with me as things looked hunky-dory after Derby and Swansea. 2 victories, comfortably in 5th or 4th place even at the time. And it looked like it was all going well. Then we had 2 tough games and the form just zapped. The confidence went to, we've let in 8 goals in 4. We've only scored 5 and only 1 in the first 2. We lost 2-0 at Sunderland. Woodburn and Embleton getting the goals there. G-Cock's still our best player on the pitch. Against Cardiff at home, Kamari Doyle scored 1. We threw it away in the 90th minute though and got a big injury to Max Taylor. That's affected our defensive form moving forward as well, because Sheffield Wednesday away, Doyle and O'Connor scored, but it wasn't enough to get the 3 points. Jamari Clark did well for us at Sheffield Wednesday in the head coach, a side we managed there. And then one of the other sides we managed in that series, Crystal Palace, managed to get a draw against us too. Scott Egan rescuing a point with a towering header in the second half after Josh O'Connor had given us an early lead. So we face Bournemouth tonight on TV, which is why we're a game behind everyone else. And then a big one against Reading next week, where Scott Egan now probably won't become a League One player, which will make it harder for us to get him in the future. And the truth is, we're delighted to be in this position, but from where we were 4 games ago, it's very frustrating. Win today, we're above Birmingham, we secured a playoff place ahead of the Reading game. The chances of that though, I would argue are pretty slim. We've got Bennett Sharif out injured too, we've got Ricky J. Jones, Ronnie Stutter in a goal drought, we've got a lot of midfielders not playing well and a bare minimum in defence because of injuries. Niko Kovac has managed 2 of our head coach clubs in the other save, here he's at Bournemouth. And I just don't fancy our chances, to be honest. If we go and have a look at the fixture today and get into it, you can see immediately where the problems are in our team selection, because there are areas where we just haven't got any quality to speak of, or any form to speak of is probably more accurate. So the midfield actually came back and played quite well in the last game. I'm tempted to leave it the same as a result. Ricky J. Jones is just all over the place suddenly. Josh O'Connor's doing well, but he has to because Ronnie Stutter's all over the shop. He keeps asking for a new contract when he's playing absolutely awfully. And then at the back, Armin couldn't stay fit, hasn't played well when he's been in. Nori's done okay, but Bajcetic struggles when Taylor's not alongside him. Mateus has had a poor run, but there's no Bennett Sharif. So we are almost out of options. It is a big struggle for us. But I think we're going to stick with this 11 because it was a better performance in the last game. And I look at the bench and think, is anyone going to make a massive difference? Probably not. So this is what we'll stick with. We should have Taylor back next week, but for now, is Zach G-Cock in goal with Mateus and Albi Armin in the fullback areas, Bajcetic and Nori centre-half. Egan, Flores, Hazeman and Doyle the midfield diamond. Ricky out of form with Josh O'Connor up front. Plenty of game changers if we need them, but none making a big impact at the moment. So on the penultimate day of the season, with things in our hands, a victory would make the final day a lot more relaxing. Let's submit the team, get into the first game. No changes from the last match. We're coming up against stars. Callum Morton, remember him at Derby in last year's head coach, was phenomenal. Tom Davis, Premier League player. Victor Siganoff, FM legend. There's quality throughout. It's going to be almost impossible. But the fact we're above this side and we're scrapping for the playoffs and they're not, Tells you just how well we've done. Can we keep it up? Can we get over the line? Can we get that experience in the top 6? Let's go and find out. 5 changes to the Bournemouth team. And look at some of the players dropping out as well. The likes of Branthwaite and Nuno Tavares. Even in the starting 11, you've got Nathan Ferguson, Harwood Bellis. I mean, there's just class everywhere. So, how we're up there, I don't know. Barley Mumba, old Torquay legend in FM90. Then so many people about. Let's get the lads to put a smile on the fans' faces. It's going to be very difficult. But even if we can just keep the unbeaten run going, I know it's 2 draws in a row. If we can keep a clean sheet or let in less than 2, there's a lot of things that would be considered a positive here. But immediately we're on the defensive with Siganov. Plays it to Hughes on the right, into Morton. Good save, G-Cock. The rebound's thankfully wide. It should have been 1-0, but we get away with it. Not the start we were hoping for at all. So with 17 minutes on the clock, we're back with a free kick in a perfect area. Christian Flores has scored one in a recent episode. Smashes the woodwork there. It rattles and it falls away. It could have been the moment, but it stays goalless and it's straight back to Bournemouth's dominance as Ibarra, back to Fernandez, wide to Hughes, who's caused trouble down this right so far. Might need a new right back with the Mateus situation, him going in permanently in the summer. As Siganov tries to dink the keeper, it's tipped onto the bar. Wonderful work from Zach G-Cock. Again, it's defensive improvements needed, isn't it? Nori gets this one away. We're reliant on lone players, which isn't ideal, as Fernandez gets down the left. Thankfully, the flag goes up. We've survived a quarter of the game, Bournemouth the better side, and having nearly all the ball and all the set pieces. Siganov puts another one in. This is the counter opportunity, though. Kamari Doyle away from the header. Through ball towards Jones. It's awful. It's absolutely miles off. Nori heads away again, though, to Callon Hazeman. To O'Connor. Through to Hazeman. Has he got the legs? It doesn't matter. Plays in Jones. Informe scores that. He was barely missing for 2-3 months. But going into the playoffs, potentially, what a time to lose your form. As Flores delivers, Egan's up. Ibarra wins it. We're coming into the game, but we can't miss chances like that. Not on a counter away at a top team. And are Bournemouth going to punish us? They've got their own corner at the back stick. Of course they are. Lucas Ibarra heads in Victor Siganov's corner. I dread to think how much those two are earning. But with 5 to the break, we've had our opportunities and we've blown it. As Bajcetic. I've just got a feeling it's going to come down to this Reading game. No Scott Egan. Pressure on us. We're expected to win against the side in the bottom half. And I don't see us doing it. Not without Jones in form. As Mateus releases him down the right. Ricky J. Jones, 3 or 4 running into the middle. Loses the ball. He's just got no confidence. And you saw him the last episode. He was absolutely flying. Oh, how have you missed that? Josh O'Connor, you're joking. The goalkeeper, simple pass back to him, has gifted it to O'Connor 8 yards out with an open goal. And he somehow hit the crossbar. That is unbelievable. There are a lot of swear words going through my head. I'm having to really think to find alternatives. I genuinely can't believe that that's been missed and to not even hit the target. Oh, unbelievable. Morton on the left for Bournemouth will be punished again for that. That's a dismal miss, honestly. Fernandez in, Siganov's there. And that's game over. The Reading game is going to be crucial now. But how has people like Ricky J. Jones gone from scoring 2 in every game to in 4 games not looking like he can hit a barn door? O'Connor, he's been in great form. He's just missed an open goal from 8 yards. I'm speechless. I just got a feeling it's conspiring against us here. And it's probably not going to be our year. Look at some of the ratings as well. We're going to need early changes in this one. I'm going to try and encourage, but I don't think there's much salvageable here. Flores gets down the right-hand side, wins the ball back for Egan. Mateus to Flores again, but it's going to be an aimless punt. Ricky J. Jones makes the most of it, though, to Kamari Doyle. He's not had a good game. Goes from distance when he's got the pace to beat them. And that's the difference. He's not got the confidence to take his man on. He's just hitting and hoping at that point. And with 10 gone in the second half, I'm going to gamble. I'm going to take Ricky J. Jones off because he's not offering anything at this moment in time. Ronnie Stutter will come on. I'm going to take off Doyle for Bullock, the old hero. And I'm going to bring on, in midfield, Hazeman off, Richardson on. Let's go for it. 35 minutes to go. We've got to hope. We've got to hope for a miracle. Well, we're back with a quarter of the game to go as Nori's got the ball in his own box. Just another aimless punt towards Stutter who can't win it. Zaniga inside to Fernandez. What you do worry about is this getting ugly. Maybe the goal difference dropping a bit as well. We've got to keep it down here because 2 goals conceded is manageable. More than that becomes a big issue. Bajetic. He's had an awful game. I don't know what it is. When he's not alongside Max Taylor, he's incapable of producing a performance. You can see Mateus again without the competition for places as Flores releases O'Connor straight at the keeper again. And if he goes into a goal drought as well, I don't know what we do because he's the only one who's looked like scoring in recent weeks. Here's Nori at the back. Another big punt. It's aimless. We just completely collapse at times. We saw it in September, near the start of the season, where you go from the sublime to the ridiculous in a space of 2 or 3 games. That ball's into Hooper, who makes it 3. I genuinely think we're going to bottle this. The best chance we've got is other sides not getting the results, which, let's bear in mind, we've picked up 2 points out of 15 as it stands, and we've still not been displaced from 5 or 6 points clear. So no one's in great form. But we're going to go into the final day, 1 point clear of Cardiff, 2 clear of West Brom. But we have got a winnable home game as Hughes. At right back for Bournemouth again, back to Ferguson. He finds his keeper. They're just taking a mick now. It's a training session. Keeper can give it to O'Connor and know he's not going to score, so why has he got to be worried? Zaniga plays long. Mateus loses out to Morton in the air, but Nori finds Egan and Bajetic. We know Egan's going to miss on the final day as well. And it's probably going to harm us a great deal as O'Connor gets away down the right. Options in the middle. Can we at least score a goal? O'Connor crosses, Stutters in. That might help. With O'Connor being dismal in front of goal today, with Ricky J. Jones in a goal drought, getting Stutter back on a score sheet may be massive. 4 minutes of stoppage time up. It's a 3-1 defeat. And into the final game, it's going to be all to play for. Because we were absolutely shocking. I've made the mistake of listening to the team talk from the assistant again. And the table for the final day is like that. We could finish anywhere between 5th and conceivably 9th. Although Burnley, the goal difference swing would be ridiculous. So 5th to 8th looks like the opportunity. I guess last year we were 9th. It was going to be an improvement. But it'd be gutting to miss out now. It all comes down to this then. Forget about the title race at the top. We are scrapping to stay in the playoffs on the final day after 5 games without a victory. It's not looking good, is it? Max Taylor, 60 minutes. I think we risk him. Bennett Sharif, not quite fit. But we've managed to get Stutter back on side a little bit. He scored last weekend. And let's have a look at who the other teams are playing. Birmingham are playing Forest, who are going for the title. Look at that top 4, by the way. 2 points separating the 4 of them is so similar to what we saw in our Twitch save when we were at Derby. And that's going to be massive pressure for both teams. So if Forest win that and we can win, we don't have to worry. But I don't think it's going to be as simple as that. Cardiff, 1 point behind us. They play Bournemouth, who we saw the threat of last week. But away from home, they've not been great all year. And West Brom in 8th place are away at Middlesbrough, who are yet to secure their safety. It's them or Sheffield Wednesday for the last relegation spot. Wow. This is going to go all the way, isn't it? I wouldn't be surprised if we're still threatening into stoppage time here. Let's get the opposition instructions on. We got 9,900 here, which for a non-derby game is probably one of the biggest crowds we've had. And I've got to make decisions. Scott Egan unavailable. A few players on their way back to fitness. I think when I'm picking this 11... I probably have to look at mentality more than ability and form. So I'll be back in a moment once I've done that. Some tough decisions to make. Right then, fitness dictates we can't make all the changes we want, but I've gone for personality in the middle in Camoy Richardson, someone who's played a lot for us as well. I'm going for Stutter up front after his goal off the bench alongside Jones, who I've given that famous chat to. I've got faith in you to get back to scoring ways. Taylor's in at centre-half. Nori is there on the bench if we need him. And Mateus has to play. I went and told him I was unhappy at his last performance. He said he thought he played quite well. That's a little bit of a worry for me. We've diffused the situation note, so he should be on side. Our 11 for this massive game at home to Reading is Zach Geacock in goal. Mateus and Armin the fullbacks with Bajetic and the returning Max Taylor at centre-half. Hazeman drops back to the holding role with Egan ineligible against his parent club. Flores, Richardson and Doyle make up the rest of the midfield diamond. I almost dropped Flores for Georgie, but I'm sticking with what we went for last time. And then Jones up front with Stutter. I need goal droughts to end. I need unhappiness to end. We need to outscore them, because at the back, I don't trust us one shot. Let's get into it. A tense final day in the Championship. Loads of teams with plenty to play for, actually. But let's see if we can secure our objective of nicking 6th place and getting that playoff experience. I want to extend our season too. Confirmation then that Taylor and Stutter return to the first team. The other change in midfield, Richardson, is enforced with Egan being unavailable. Kellen Watts drops out of the visitor side today, Reading. What a player he is. We had him in our Ballymena save last year on Twitch. They've got the likes of Josh Bowler, Tyrese John Jules, Renner Motor still there, Nathan Phillips centre-half, Stephen Sessignon. What a side. And Scott Egan might be joining them again next year. But let's try and book the playoff place. We're at home, we've got a big crowd, but we're 5 without a win. And this is a pressure occasion. I'm not sure if the boys have got it in them. Only one way to find out. Let's get into the first half. Well, 13 minutes on the clock. It's been very quiet, but we're back with a Reading long ball from a throw-in their own defensive third. Flores plays a back heel to Mateus, who marks well there. Badgertich into Richardson. Need a big game from him. Releases Jones. Has the chat worked? Almost. It was on target. Dink the keeper, the player back on the line. I was about to say, of course it had. Got a little bit arrogant there. 20 gone though. Look at the stats. We're dominating the chances. Not having much possession, but is the goal coming? We need to get the latest scores up as well. I don't know where we're going to chuck them though. Let's get them over here. Who is going to get the goal? Reading have got a set piece. Machino delivers to the back post. Conceding would be a disaster. Nicolau heads over. We're due a clean sheet, aren't we? We're still 6th at the moment. West Brom 3 up at Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough going down as it stands because Sheffield Wednesday winning. Birmingham still in the playoffs. But at the moment, we're edging in on that crucial goal difference. It's 0-0 at half-time. We've been the better side. But you can't say we've really looked like scoring. Let's tell the lads to get revenge. They beat us last time out. We don't want them doing the double. Who else is up there? Cardiff are losing. There's a positive. Birmingham beating Forest now. Might cost them a top 2 place. As Sessignon to the right. Taylor clears away. Armin can play it out. Camoy Richardson had a solid game today. Up to Stutter. Got a 3-on-2 here momentarily. Stutter delivers. Jones gets there. Is he onside? He's put the ball in the net. Please don't let that flag go up. The chat works as always. Ricky J. Jones delivers. He might break that scoring record yet, because by the looks of it, he's going to get at least 2 more games as Flores finds Jones in midfield. Can this bring back the confidence now? Taylor, back to his goalkeeper. We've got to keep an eye on his fitness and his performance, which hasn't been great. Badgertich into Richardson. Up to Doyle, who's got space. Reading have to change the game now. It's a perfect position for us. They're chasing it. They're leaving gaps in behind. And Ricky should have scored again. It's behind for a corner kick. It'll be an in-swinger. Who's going to take it? Christian Flores to the back post. Up goes Hazeman. Heads it high and wide. It would have been more accurate if it was Egan. I just hope we can keep him next year. As Armin on the left with a throw into Richardson. Had a really good game. Finds Stutter to Armin. Richardson again. Back to the fullback. Can we get the cross in? At the moment, playing short. Callum Hazeman, who's on a yellow. Got to watch him as well. Richardson to Flores. Finds Ricky J. Jones. Can he get the overlap from fullback? He can't. He's gone alone. And we had a little jitter there, but he's won the penalty kick. And it's a chance to make it 2-0. He's the best penalty taker, but he's not a good one. I wouldn't be entirely confident about this, but he has ended his goal drought, so maybe now he's going to be full of confidence and put this in. If he scores, you'd say we're probably in the playoffs, and he's done just that into the bottom corner. Ricky J. Jones is back. He equals Victor Sedende's league goals in a season record, but it's at a much higher level. The Championship, the most competitive league in the world, and at the moment, we're in 6th place, and it looks like that's the limit, because Birmingham battering Forest, who started the day top of the league. They're now 4th. What a Championship final day. And we've got bigger problems now. Josh Bowler, we know he's got the quality. He's doing it in real life. Has just curled an absolute peach in from 30 yards. We're going to take Doyle off for Leon Bullock. Oh, I don't know what else to do. But what a nervy finish that we really didn't need. 20 minutes remaining. Hazeman's on a yellow. I'm going to bring on Leo Hubert. We'll save the last one 10 more. Might be Armin, might be Taylor. I just don't know. I'm gonna make a change in a minute. Flores has got a free kick first though. Oh, I thought he just made it easier. But Stutter's header was from an offside position. I'm gonna take off Richardson for Georgie. If we keep the fitness in midfield and the diamond, we protect our defence. There's my theory. Look at the expected goals. 2.8 to 0.5. And we're like this at the end. We said it would go down to the final minutes, and it is doing just that. John Jules out on the left now. Nicolau to Sorensen. Reading finally starting to push. They've got to throw the kitchen sink at us. And have we got the defence to cope? I'm not sure. Hale to the byline. Across. Great block from Bajcetic. Absolutely superb. And it's a corner kick, which will be taken. In-swinging delivery from Sessegnon to the front post. Hubert heads away. Miulu recycles possession. The time wasting will be going on very shortly. We've got to hold on. Phillips to Riamoto, the skipper. Back to Phillips again, all the way to his keeper. That's excellent pressing, but the highlight's not over. Phillips picks it up at centre-half. Out to Bowler. The man who's made this tense. Big switch of play. Is it over here? It is. Goal kick, Hemel Hempstead. We're clinging on, deservedly so. Though in the 89th minute, it's a throw-in for Albi Armin, who plays a 1-2 with Georgie. Can we just get a third and relax? It's up to Bullock. This is the chance. Leon Bullock has Jones with him. Finds Stutter. Blocked shot. It's away from Reading and they've got a counter on. Hale's caught the left back out of position. We're chasing, but Georgie, he does really well to hold him up. Back to Sessegnon. He gets towards the byline. Who can block it? I think it's Stutter back there. But G-Cock deals with a cross. He holds on to it too. We're into the 90th minute. I don't know that I can cope with this. To be fair, a draw might be enough, depending on the Cardiff score. It's a long ball up to Stutter. This is the chance. Jones has got there. It's terrible defending. Ricky J. Jones seals his hat-trick. He passes it calmly into the corner. The individual chat has worked a treat. And Hemel Hempstead Town are in the playoffs. It's 6th place. It's snuck on the final day. But we now face a side in probably Watford or Forest who are going to be absolutely devastated to miss out. I think it's Forest who ended up third right at the end. But who cares? We're going to get the experience. And for next season, for the year after, having an experience of the playoffs is going to be massive. We play a Forest side who started top of the league on the final day. And they will be crushed to be in the playoffs. And this is why so often you see the teams in 5th and 6th produce the goods. What a finish that was. What a final day of the season. My word, the season is extended. Let's see when the playoffs start. Well, how about that? Ricky J. Jones, 3 goals. What a team talk that was to him. We've also got our best ever championship finish. It was 9th, it's now 6th. And it's a goal record for Ricky J. Jones. We play Nottingham Forest in a semi-finals of the playoffs starting in 9 days' time. So we get a little rest, which is crucial. And there's 6 days between the 2 legs, which is even better. So rather than an end of season review, we are now going to be back in 2 days' time for Nottingham Forest in the Championship playoffs. I hope you'll come and join me for it. It was a wonderful end to the season. And what drama at all ends. I've got to quickly check, did Middlesbrough get relegated in the end? Sheffield Wednesday won. They did. So big team going down and we're in the playoffs. Who could have wrote that at the start of the season when we lost every game in September when we were in a relegation scrap? When we went 5 without a win before the final day. But Ricky to the rescue again. If you're looking forward to the next episode and you did enjoy this one, please do put a thumbs up on it. Subscribe down below for daily FM22 content from 2 long-term stories. A decisive one to come in the head coach tomorrow and then the playoffs in 2 days' time. I'm not expecting much, but it should be an experience and one that will help this young side in the future. Let me know in the comments how you think we'll get on and how on earth we got in the playoffs with 1 win in the last 6 games. But it doesn't matter now. We're there. And I'll see you next time to see how we get on.